right now. This is NBC Montana News, getting the facts right.
Well, the rain finally let up for a little bit today, enough to capture this beautiful shot of Lake McDonald. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Montana McLaughlin. A little break in the action for Mother's Day. Even the rising river levels we told you about yesterday are on the decline. But now meteorologist Matt Gray is saying that these skies could now give way to a chilly night tonight. Matt.
That's right, and a few showers still hanging around out there, but they are going to taper off, especially as we go beyond or as we go through the next several hours. And then for tonight, with some clearing skies in some areas, we are going to see another chilly night. In many areas, it will not be as cold as what we saw last night, but a little bit more clearing around Kalispell. We could dip into the upper 20s. Meanwhile, most of us are going to be right around that freezing mark, with it being a little bit warmer around places like Bozeman, Ennis, and Dillon, as we're going to see a bit more clouds in far southwest Montana as we head through tonight. So that is tonight. We still have, though, a few showers hanging around out there around the region. We'll show you that very quickly here on our radar. Most of the action is around Kalispell, though we do have one strong shower that is going to move right into St. Regis here in a moment. Could be producing some small hail, which we have seen throughout the day today. I'm tracking a big storm for next week. Don't go anywhere. We'll talk more about that next.
Tonight, an alert for drivers in Missoula. The I-90 eastbound exit on Orange Street is now closed. Crews say the closure is due to construction on the Orange Street roundabout interchange. They're sealing the new concrete on the exit ramp today and encouraging drivers to take alternate routes. Now, that ramp will reopen tomorrow morning, but tonight we are tracking another possible delay in your Monday morning commute. You might just want to avoid Orange Street altogether because crews are paving a section of the Orange Street Bridge between 6th and Main Street starting tomorrow at 7 a.m. The construction will last for about 3 weeks. Our Karen Faringer has what you need to know before heading out the door. Karen.
Montana crews have not done maintenance on the Orange Street Bridge for more than 13 years. Orange Street is a state route and a main traffic road. All that wear and tear has created ruts in the driving lanes. With heavy snow this last winter, those ruts trapped water, giving way to dozens of potholes. Orange Street will remain open during the paving project, but you will see periodic lane closures. Traffic will be rerouted around work zones, and there could be minor traffic delays. One resident we talked to says it just takes time for roads to get fixed.
Oh, we live in Montana, and so this is a thing that every year the potholes come, and there's nothing anybody can do about it, and eventually the city gets to it. I think that they're doing the best they can. I think that they've done the best they can for years and years and years.
Paving starts tomorrow at 7 a.m. and goes until 4:30 p.m. every weekday for the next 3 weeks. You can find more information online at NBCMontana.com. Live in Missoula, Karen Faringer, NBC Montana.
Well, lines wrapped around the corner at the old Missoula Mercantile site today, all for one of these. Now, folks gathered to bring a little piece of history home themselves after the building's demolition a few weeks ago. It's now being turned into a new Marriott hotel. Some people took just one brick while others brought wheelbarrows full. Attendees say they plan to put the bricks to good use and savor some of Missoula's history.
There's so many old buildings now that they're tearing down that pretty soon there isn't going to be any history. So it means a lot to try to keep some of it.
Organizers say plaques are also available to affix the bricks. Well, if you were in downtown Missoula today, you might have seen this, a Jeep completely patriotic out. The driver is going cross country. He started in Walla Walla, Washington, and is headed to our nation's capital for the annual DC Memorial Parade.
And thank veterans, shake their hands and personally thank them for their service to this country, and let them know how just one old vet thinks the world of them and love of country.
Well, if you saw emergency response crews around Gallatin County today, don't be alarmed. The sheriff's office is training for aquatic death and homicidal drownings at Headwater State Park. It's a 3-day-long training that teaches law enforcement search and investigative techniques for drownings and water-related deaths. And new tonight, the National Park Service says they're offering $5,000 for information leading to the arrest of the gunman who they say shot and killed a famous white wolf at Yellowstone National Park. Investigators believe someone near the city of Gardner illegally shot the female wolf between April 10th and 11th. Park officials say hikers first discovered the injured wolf and then decided to euthanize her due to the severity of her wounds. The wolf was just one of 3 known white wolves in the park, living twice as long as the average wolf. And Montana Fish, Wildlife and Park says a Missoula man shot and killed a black bear after it wandered onto his porch earlier this week. Officials say residents spotted the bear in Missoula's Rattlesnake neighborhood. FWP says someone had been feeding the bear hot dog slices or slices of bread. FWP also says that they euthanized another grizzly bear in a separate incident near Eureka this week after it killed 8 sheep. Well, congratulations to all of this year's Western Montana graduates. Just yesterday, 3,000 students walked at Washington Grizzlies Stadium at the University of Montana. Many are going on to start their first jobs or go back to school. And NBC Montana is saluting all of our graduates in the class of 2017. We're trying to cover as many as possible, but we need your help. We created a slideshow on our website and our Facebook page. You can join in on our salute. Send us your favorite graduation pictures from any ceremony. Include the school, date, and the name of your special graduate. You can send those over to news@keci.com or post your favorite pictures in the comments section of our Facebook. And we told you we'd share our favorites, so congratulations to this group, Montana Tech Associates Nursing class, and these UM graduates, cast members from MCT's Wizard of Oz, who walked in the morning and then performed in 2 shows later that afternoon. Well, tonight, energy is still in the air after Vice President Mike Pence's visit to Billings. He joined Greg Gianforte on stage for his campaign rally for Montana's open U.S. House congressional seat. Pence praised Gianforte, saying just like Montana chose Donald Trump, they need to choose Gianforte on Election Day. Gianforte says he supports a strong military, balanced budget, right to gun ownership, and public lands. And Senator Bernie Sanders will be in Montana next weekend supporting Democratic congressional candidate Rob Quist. Sanders will be rallying at the Wilma Theater in Missoula next Saturday, the 20th, from 11 a.m. to noon. He then travels to the Butte Civic Center from 3 to 4 p.m. Next Sunday, the 21st, Sanders will be at MSU in Bozeman with a rally at 11 a.m. You can follow all election stories as Election Day on May 25th rolls closer at NBCMontana.com. Well, this week, the Missoula law enforcement will honor fallen officers in their annual memorial ceremony at the Missoula Rose Gardens. This is videos of last year's ceremony. But this year's ceremony is this Thursday at 7 p.m. It's free and it's open to the public. Law enforcement will honor officers and their families who made the ultimate sacrifice and place a rose in their memory. You can find more information on this at NBCMontana.com. Big decisions coming up for city councils across the state this week. Let's first take you out to Missoula. They are approving over $490,000 of bills. On the list, $30,000 to Knife River Construction for work on the Kim Williams Trail and $104,000 for the Mountain Water buyout. They're also asking for the public's input on the Higgins Avenue Bridge renovation project. Out this week in Bozeman, let's take you there next. They'll discuss this year's fiscal budget and approve an increase of parking fees at MSU and high school permits as well. They'll also discuss the city's future vision statement for the next 5 years. And up in the Flathead this week, Kalispell's City Council will accept over $22,000 from the federal government for cybersecurity services. They'll also discuss allowing private schools to be built in parts of the city. And in Whitefish, the grand opening of the new parking structure is being pushed back to May 22nd, but this week City Council could decide to push it back even farther. Well, just after the break, the U.S. government's warning American companies to be on the lookout after a major cyber attack in Europe. Plus, let's take you out now to a live look over Whitefish, low visibility and snowy skies up there. Matt Gray will tell you if there's more snow to come. We'll be right back.
Rob Quist and Nancy Pelosi aren't telling you the truth. They're desperate to hide Quist's support for a national gun registry.
Don't believe the false attacks. Greg Gianforte never blocked access to this stream. I know because I've fished here for years. Greg Gianforte will fight for our access to public lands.
Greg Gianforte. He'll protect the Second Amendment and keep public lands in public hands.
I'm Greg Gianforte, and I approve this message. The way I'm fortunate enough to make a living requires balance and a strong sense of focus, neither of which is easy if I'm in pain. The years of injuries have led to spinal alignment issues, but the amazing staff at Matt's Family Chiropractic have always kept me pain-free with a greater sense of mobility. The truth is when I get realigned, it keeps me outside doing the things that I love to do most.
Welcome to Matt's Family Chiropractic, where our family takes care of your family and friends.
My family loves the Source because there's something for everybody. My daughter can come and play in mountain movers, and I can attend the group fitness classes, and she just loves to interact with other kids and jump on that new bouncy house.
The youth programs here at the Source focus on injury prevention, social interaction, and having a lot of fun.
At the Source Health Club, we are dedicated to helping your family become healthier and happier. The Source. Change begins inside.
This segment of the news is brought to you by Fred's Appliance.
Tonight, European police officials say they've never seen anything like the worldwide cyber attack that hit on Friday, and they're now worried things could get worse. Nearly 1/5 of Britain's hospitals were hit hard by a digital extortion scheme Friday that demanded money. A European official says there are now 200,000 victims in at least 150 countries, and say it could get worse as people head back to work tomorrow and turn on their computers. The attack forced hospital emergency rooms to shut down. Hospital staff were unable to access patient records. Back here at home, President Trump is still denying his campaign had anything to do with Russia meddling in the 2016 election. But a new poll shows Americans want a special prosecutor now to investigate. An NBC News Wall Street Journal poll says 15% of people believe Congress should lead the investigation with Russia. 78% say a special prosecutor should. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham says he wants to hear from ex-FBI Director James Comey, who Trump fired last week. Comey says he won't testify before a Senate committee, but committee members say they're certain he will soon. And tonight, more than 1 million Dodge Ram pickup trucks are being recalled. This comes after the company says a glitch in software can prevent seatbelts and airbags from deploying in a rollover. One person's died so far. The recall applies to Dodge Ram 1500s, 2500s, and 3500 pickups made between 2013 and 2016. Fiat Chrysler plans to reprogram the software free of charge.
And now Matt Gray with your forecast.
Well, it's really not feeling too much like spring right now, Matt. I know you're even tracking some cooler temperatures overnight tonight.
Yes. Chilly stuff there, and then some more chilly weather as we head later on into this week. Another storm going to be moving in and going to bring us a chance for rain and, yes, snow again as we head into the middle of the week. So as far as getting outdoors, Monday, probably your best day to do it, because beyond that, we're talking about some pretty wet weather and some pretty inclement weather as well up in the backcountry that will be lasting through at least Thursday morning. Out there right now, definitely cool. We're only in the 40s around Kalispell and Butte, and we're just have cropped up into the 50s here over the past couple of hours around Missoula and Bozeman, but at least the skies look pleasant out on our weather cams, but there are some showers and storms still hanging around. You can see a little bit of activity to the north of Butte and near the Phillipsburg area, and also scattered showers all around the Kalispell area south towards Missoula. And some of these storms did produce some rather good-sized hail in places like Columbia Falls earlier today. Keeping an eye on this storm. It looks like it's starting to fall apart a little bit now, and these have been fairly weak throughout the day, but some heavy rain, maybe even some small little hail coming through there. Now moving into St. Regis, the Quinns Hot Springs area. Paradise will also see some rain from this one shortly. On Future Tracker, let's see what we have for the rest of the night. And as we head towards midnight, things will calm down a bit. Cloudy around Butte and Bozeman through the overnight, and a chance for a few showers as we are waking up. This is 8 a.m. on Monday. Meanwhile, clearing skies to the north. That'll help us get down into the upper 20s, I think, in parts of the Flathead Valley. In the afternoon, more scattered showers with the best chance for rain around Bozeman and Dillon as we head into the afternoon. But overall, it should be very similar to today. Pretty low impact with those showers. So for tomorrow, 58 in Bozeman, 53 for Butte. We get up into the 60s, but barely in many other areas. 60 in Missoula and in Kalispell. Polson hits there as well at 61 in Hamilton and Thompson Falls. So a scattered shower pattern with cool conditions. Middle of the week, though, here comes this storm, and it's going to be bringing some heavy rain wrapping around the center of this low pressure. And yes, high elevation snow. It will be cold enough. So we're talking about some big time rainfall here, folks. We're seeing anywhere between heavy to very heavy rainfall in many of our mountainous areas, especially near the Idaho state line between Tuesday and Thursday, and around Bozeman and into Yellowstone Park. Also the eastern side of Glacier National Park as well, and around the Butte area, chance for some heavy rain. Now, it is going to be cool enough, especially Tuesday night into Wednesday. We're talking about snow, which means some issues with mountain passes such as Lost Trail Pass into Butte and the Homestake Pass area, with accumulating snowfall possible there and across some parts of southwest Montana, especially if you get above 4,000 to 5,000 feet. So this is going to be a very interesting middle of the week. It is going to be cold, and it is going to feel a little bit like winter out there. And that's why we're going to keep it at moderate on the severe weather tracker for Wednesday. That will likely be the day with the most impact to all of you Wednesday morning, especially if you're traveling over mountain passes. And there's that snow that we're talking about. Wednesday and Thursday morning, possible in the Butte area. Lows drop down, or highs drop down to the 40s, back up into the 50s, but more showers later on in the week and next weekend. Around Bozeman, showery weather and a chance of thunderstorms as we head into next Sunday. Low highs here will also only be in the 40s for that storm. In the middle of the week, 40s briefly, but up to the 60s as we start to warm up a little bit, and close to 70 degrees by the time we get to Saturday. But once again, that's after that cool and stormy weather. Likely the least amount of rain we're going to see is in Kalispell, so just some lighter rain Tuesday and Wednesday, warming up as we head into the end of the week.
Thank you, Matt. NBC Montana's parent company is in the process of transferring its broadcasting license to another broadcast company. Here's an FCC required announcement about that transfer.
On May 5, 2017, an application was filed with the Federal Communications Commission for consent to transfer control of the license of KTVM-TV Channel 6, Butte, Montana, KCFW-TV Channel 9, Kalispell, Montana, KECI-TV Channel 13, Missoula, Montana, and KDBZ-CD Channel 42, Bozeman, Montana, from Bonton Media Group, LLC, transferor, to Sinclair Television Group, Incorporated, transferee. A copy of the application and related material is available for public inspection at www.fcc.gov. The executive officers, directors, and 10% or greater shareholders of transferor are Bonton Diamond Castle LLC, DCP 2014 Deal Leaders Fund LP, Diamond Castle Partners 2014 AIV Bonton LP, DCP 2014 GP LP, DCP 2014 GP LLC, Randall D. Baumgarten, Stephen M. Bassford, William Scott Moody, Michael W. Ranger, Ari J. Benasuraf, and Andrew H. Rush. The officers, directors, and 10% or greater shareholders of transferee and entities in its ownership chain are Stephen M. Marks, Stephen J. Pruitt, Robert D. Weisbord, Christopher Ripley, David B. Amy, Lucy Rudishauer, Barry M. Faber, Robert Merlanda, Mark Aiken, Dave Howitt, Tammy Dupy, Jonathan D. Spade, Joseph A. Koff, Mike Kralik, I. Scott Livington, Mike Kralik 1, Scott Livingston, David F. Schwartz, M. William Butler, Greg L. Siegel, Delbert R. Parks III, David D. Smith, J. Duncan Smith, Frederick G. Smith, Robert E. Smith, Lawrence E. McCanna, Daniel C. Keith, Justin Bray, Jamie Dembeck, Paul E. Nestorovsky, Donald H. Thompson, Thomas L. Waters, David R. Bochenek, Rebecca Hansen, Martin R. Leader, Howard F. Friedman, and Sinclair Broadcast Group, Incorporated.
All right, Tyler, well, what do you got coming up in sports today?
Well, a busy weekend in sports finally coming to a close. We're going to tell you how the Cats and Grizz did in track and field this weekend in the Big Sky Championships. Plus, we've got some more Legion baseball taking place this Mother's Day. We've got highlights, scores, and more after the break.
The more I read about Rob Quist's history of bad debts and tax liens, the less I would ever trust him with my tax dollars.
Newspapers say Quist has been sued for breach of contract, deceit, and fraud.
Quist faced multiple warrants for failing to pay his taxes.
He stiffed a contractor who did work at his home.
How is that for Montana values?
Rob Quist should learn to manage his own finances
before asking to go to Congress and manage ours.
Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
It's Rangus Brother RV Center's Spring into Summer Sales Event. Escape into the freedom of the open road and the great outdoors in a Jayco Eagle half-ton towable fifth wheel with payments as low as $265 a month OAC. Or spring into savings on a new J-Flight SLX with payments as low as $99 a month. That's right, $99 a month and zero down OAC. Spring is coming, so hit the road in style in a new Jayco, America's #1 travel trailer 12 years in a row. Only where a handshake means something, Rangus Brothers RV Center.
Tonight.
You can memorize a shuffled deck of cards.
It's a big deal on Little Big Shots.
Which one is the ace?
Your left one.
Then the Chicago Justice season finale. Are the rich above the law?
This was an intentional act that resulted in murder.
Whoops. You got me. Here, take me away.
And on Shades of Blue.
There's nobody here to protect you.
You gotta go out in a hail of bullets. That's the kind of mobster you are.
Hey, sweetie.
Detective, we have your daughter. All new tonight on NBC.
As a veteran, I know the price of freedom and what it takes to keep America safe. With the threat of terrorism growing, we need strong leadership in Washington. I don't believe Mr. Quist will stand up to Iran and ISIS. Quist will vote with Nancy Pelosi to cut funding for our troops, putting them and our homeland in danger. Take it from this vet, Quist is a risk we can't take.
I'm Greg Gianforte, and I approve this message.
This is NBC Montana, getting the facts right. And now, sports with Tyler Bergen.
Welcome back. Another busy day in Legion baseball for a few Western Montana teams. At Lindborg Craig Field today, the Missoula Mavericks finished off a 4-game series with the Billings Royals. After dropping Game 1 8-2, the Mavs looked for their bats to come to life in the second game. They'd have to play catch-up after giving up 4 runs in the first, so Sam Busey does his best to help the cause with this RBI single to right field. That would make it a 4-2 game after 1 inning. Bottom of the second now, runners on first and second for Spencer Schock. He'll ground one right back up the middle for a base hit, allowing 1 run to come home ahead of the throw. Mavs make it 4-3. Next batter up for Missoula is going to be James Martin in number 2. Comes up big with 2 runners on, lining one over the first baseman and down the right field line. That ball will roll for a while, allowing both runs to come in to score on the triple. The Mavericks only needed 2 innings to overcome the 4-run deficit. They go on to win Game 2, 7-5 in the final. In other Legion baseball action today, the Bitterroot Red Sox took the first game of a doubleheader against the Lakers 4-2 today. Torrin Bowden drove in both runs for Kalispell, while the Red Sox 4, 5, and 6 hitters each drove in runs. In Great Falls this afternoon, the Bucks fell to the AA Chargers 9-3, a game of threes for these two teams. The Chargers used 3 3-run innings to beat Bitterroot in 9. The Big Sky's best track and field athletes all met in Sacramento this weekend for the conference's outdoor championships. We'll start with the women's team results. Northern Arizona built a lead too large to overcome in the early stages. They take first place with 125 points. The Grizzlies finished second with a big 75-point outing on Saturday. Sammy Evans finished her Big Sky career winning her 6th individual title, and her teammate Hannah Filzer was named the most outstanding performer at the meet after she won the hammer throw with a school record toss of 206 feet 3 inches. The Bobcats rounded out the top 5 with 93 points. And on the men's side, Sacramento State defended its home track with 131.2 points at first place. Southern Utah Weber for second place, and the Bobcats once again finished 5th. Junior Kyle Douglas won his first career conference title in shot put. His winning throw traveled 58 feet 5.75 inches, and Diego Leon took second in the 5,000-meter run, while fellow Bobcat Christopher Lang also made his first podium appearance, earning 3rd in the 400-meter hurdles. In Pac-12 basketball headlines from this past week, some great news for former Missoula Hellgate star Trace Tinkle. This past Tuesday, Oregon State announced that Tinkle has been granted a medical hardship by the Pac-12 after he missed the majority of this past season with a broken wrist. In order to be eligible for a medical hardship, a player must suffer a season-ending injury or illness in the first half of their season, and the player cannot have played in more than 30% of their team's games before suffering the injury against Fresno State last November. Tinkle was averaging over 20 points and 8 rebounds per game for the Beavers. Team coached by his father, Wayne Tinkle, Trace will return as a redshirt sophomore with 3 remaining years of eligibility. And just a reminder for Grizz softball fans, the NCAA Championship Selection Show is tonight on ESPN2. That is when Montana will find out their opponent in the program's first ever appearance in the NCAA tournament. And that'll do it for your sports. We'll be right back.
Watch NBC Montana News weeknights at 5, 6, and 10.
Rob Quist is my neighbor.
but I won't be voting for him.
I'm a contractor in Kalispell, and Rob Quest hired us to build a dance floor at his house. After we completed the job, he stiffed us.
Rob Quist doesn't pay his bills.
Collections, foreclosures, tax liens.
This has been going on for 16 years.
Through my experience with Rob Quest, you can't trust him to keep his word.
In Montana, your word is your bond. If your word's no good, you're no good.
The NRCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Right now, lease a new 2017 Highlander for $359 a month during the Toyota Time Sales Event. Plus, every new Highlander comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan. Toyota, let's go places.
My teaching style is very unique. I try to add a little humor when I teach. I try to be a cheerleader up there encouraging the kids. I like to be active while they're learning, and I like the kids to be active.
Mrs. Whaley helps us, and she makes learning fun. She's funny sometimes, and she's super nice. She helps everybody when they need it.
She's always making sure everybody's safe and okay.
I feel the most important thing these children can learn is work ethics. How to finish a job, start a job. If they don't understand something, how do they go someplace to learn it? And if they learn these concepts now, it'll carry on for the rest of their lives.
If we don't get what she teaches us, then she teaches it again and again until we get it. She's such a nice teacher, and she doesn't quit.
My payoff is when I see in their eyes a concept that's been difficult, and they get that concept, and I see that aha moment in their eyes. That's the biggest payoff I can have.
KECI's Gold Star Award, brought to you by the Town Pump Charitable Foundation and KECI 13.
Well, happy Mother's Day from all of us at NBC Montana. We even compiled some photos of our staff and their mothers. Let's take a look at those. We are wishing you all a happy holiday. There's Tyler and his mom. You can even send us some of your photos as well. We can post them on our website. You can send those over to news@keci.com. There's Barrett too. I FaceTimed my mom this morning. She was taking advantage, just sleeping in. Mostly.
Yeah. Happy Mother's Day, Mom.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom.
Yeah, you're on air. Shout out for the year.
There you go.
Hey, let's show your temperatures for tonight. Cover your plants again. And this is going to be a theme as we go throughout the week. Yes, for the Butte folks, places like Darby, Deer Lodge, Anaconda. More snow on the way for the middle of the week. We're going to keep tracking it for you right here.
All right, thanks, Matt. We'll be back tonight at 10, or you can tune in at NBCMontana.com. Have a great night.